crochet a One Piece inspired balaclava. And I'm laughing because, let me tell you the story. So basically, my bestie's partner, who I have known for many years, probably like 10 years, love him, adore him, he's basically like a brother to me. He loves One Piece. I also love One Piece, but I'm very new to One Piece. And if you don't know what One Piece is, it's basically a manga which has been turned into an anime, which is like a Japanese comic book / Japanese cartoon. So it's very famous. It has been around for decades. I think since like the 90s. I actually don't know when it started or when it first came out. It's been around for a very long time. It is notorious because it has, I think, 1,000 or so episodes of the anime, and it also has like 100 or so volumes of the manga. It's extremely popular. It's basically about a group of pirates and you just follow them along on their shenanigans. And obviously there is 100 volumes of this manga, so there's like a lot that happens, and I'm not going to get into the details because like I said, I'm very new into the One Piece world, that I don't even really know that much. I have barely scratched the surface of like what happens in this story. This is a very long-winded explanation, but I feel like you need all of the context. And so my bestie's partner loves One Piece also. He has read, I think he's up to date with the manga, I think he's up to date with the anime. He loves it, obsessed. It is like his favorite anime, and he has several favorite characters from the anime. So he has been asking me to basically crochet him a balaclava inspired by Trafalgar Law's hat for the longest time, and I just haven't got round to it. I don't know why, because I have like the perfect yarn for it, but I think like I needed to basically take his head measurements and like ask exactly what he wanted from it, because every time we talk about it, like it would just be, we were having a chat about it and I would never like remember any of the information that he told me. And also like he was always quite vague with what he wanted, so I was very like specific of like, what exactly do you want? Let me take your measurements, you know, let me get all of the information that I could possibly get so that I know what he wants. So yes, that is a long-winded intro to what I will be doing for this vlog, but yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. He basically wants a balaclava. He wants like a full balaclava, like over the face, with like an eye slit or an eye opening, eye hole, whatever you want to call it. Half of it to be like a whitey cream colour, and the other half to be like the kind of patterning on Trafalgar Law's hat. I think it sounds a little bit crazy. I'm like, okay, sure, like if this is what you want, I'll make it. I think it will be quite simple. I have never done a balaclava before, like a full balaclava, and I have never done a tapestry or like colourwork balaclava or beanie or something like that. So there's gonna be like two new things, but I am very confident that I'll be able to do it. I think like I understand the construction, I understand how I'll be able to do it, and now I have his measurements and like, you know, how he wants it to fit, how he wants it to look. I'll be like, oh cool, like, and I've written it all down. I've got like a picture of an existing balaclava that he had. I've written down his measurements and stuff, and so now I can actually make it. Why I'm kind of finding this quite funny is that I do not know who Trafalgar Law is. I'm sorry to that man, I do not know him. I haven't got to his storyline yet, and I don't know when he arrives. I don't know, like, I don't know who he is. Like, is he a pirate? I don't know. And obviously I don't want to Google it because like I don't want to ruin the story for myself. So I know he's obviously I know he's a character in One Piece. When does he arrive? Who fucking knows? I don't know if he's a good guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy. I don't know if he's just like, you know, just fucking there. Like, I literally know nothing about him. So I think it's kind of funny that I'm like crocheting something from a character that I have no clue who he is. So my experience with One Piece is that I have only recently got into anime, probably in like the beginning of 2024, maybe like mid 2024. That's when I started watching anime. It's just kind of opened up a whole new world of like storytelling and a whole new world of shows and also manga as well. And I initially watched the live action One Piece on Netflix way before I started watching anime, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the story, and I was like, oh, this story is actually really cool. Like, I could totally get into this if I was to read it or watch it in an animated way. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I will dip my toes into it. Then I started getting into anime and didn't watch One Piece, but then started getting into anime, learned more about, like, you know, the fandoms and like the shows that I could watch and the type of shows and the storylines and blah blah blah. And then I did start watching some of One Piece. I got about 40 to 50 episodes in, but a very common critique of the show is that the pacing is quite slow, and I have to agree, because I had obviously watched the live action, so like there were parts of the anime that I already knew the story of. And for me personally, I do think it's a little bit slow, and I found it so interesting because I was like, I want to know what happens next. I want to know like the rest of the story, but it's just that like it was dragged out quite a lot, and so I was like, I want to watch it so I know what happens next, because I'm interested in what happens next, but you're taking so long to get to the fucking point. And I do think this is like a very common critique, and as much as I say that, I will probably revisit that anime at some point. But since then, I have now started reading the manga. I am about 30 volumes into the manga, so I've like surpassed the storyline from the live action, and I've surpassed what I have watched in the anime. I'm really enjoying it. I absolutely love it. I think it's so fun, and I think the characters are just so interesting. I love the Straw Hat Pirates. I love all of the different pirates that we meet along the way. I love Princess Vivi. I love her so much. She's so fun, and I've just kind of finished up with the like Alabasta storyline. I don't know when Trafalgar Law arrives, but like I will get there at some point. There's like 100 volumes, of course, like it's going to take me a little while. So when that time comes, I will be like, oh, I know who he is now. So yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I basically have the perfect yarn for it as well. I personally, when I was like looking up pictures of Trafalgar Law, there seems to be like quite a lot of slight color variations of what color his hat is, and obviously like the splotchy part of it is black in my opinion, but then I don't think that the like main color of the hat is white. I think it's more of like a creamy color. So I actually have both of these yarns are left over from my No Face sweater. This was the color that I used for the mask, and then this was the color that I used for like the body of No Face. So yeah, I think this will be perfect to do the kind of color work part. I can't remember what side he wants it, so I think he said he wants like from the eyes, like from the eye slit upwards, he wants it to be the whiter creamy color, and then from the eye slit down he wants it to be the like, is it, I don't know what print it is, it's like Dalmatian print, cow print, it's like these little blobs of this like pattern. He wants that to be the bottom half, because he wants to be able to roll up the balaclava and then wear it as a beanie as well, so it's like a 2-in-1. So yeah, this is the yarn I'm going to be using. I obviously need to just double check as to like what order he wants them to be in, but I'm basically going to do a, like once I figure out that, I will basically do like a very simple chart on Stitch Fiddle with like the little blobby bits, the print, cow print, whatever the fuck it is, and then I can actually crochet it. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to giving it to him as well, because I'm actually not going to tell him that I'm doing it, because I mean he's been talking about it to me for like a year or so now. Like basically when he watched One Piece and saw Trafalgar Law, he was like, I want this as a balaclava, and I've been like, yeah, sure, and then like never actually done it. So I'm actually doing it. So yeah, I'm not going to tell him that I've like started it. I am due to see him in like a month's time, because we don't live near each other. I'm due to see him, yeah, I think in like a month's time or so. So hopefully I can give it to him there when I do see him, because he's coming to me as well, which will make my life easier. But yeah, I've got like a month or so to crochet him this balaclava slash beanie. I think it's going to look really fun, and it's kind of weird doing like a character, like crocheting something that's like related to a character when I don't know anything about the character. And I really am very curious as to like who the fuck he is, and like what he does, and like what kind of character he is. But obviously like I don't want to Google it and spoil anything for myself, because I will eventually find out. So yes, anyway, enough rambling. I've been talking for too long. We are going to get started on crocheting this beanie slash balaclava. good. It looks really good. I'm like actually very surprised at how good it looks. So I've been crocheting for like 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours I think, and I have just done some math. So basically, obviously because he wants a balaclava with like the eye bit cut out, I'm basically making a really long beanie, but I need to separate to be able to have the little cut out bit for the eyes. So I was just doing some maths because I have like the measurement of his head circumference, which I then need to deduct like the length of how long the eye bit is going to be, and then divide it by 2 so that the seam that joins the hat or balaclava is down the middle at the back, so obviously it's like hidden away. So I've just done some maths and I'm basically already ready to split off for the like eye section. I was a little bit worried when I just started that I had made it a little bit like not long enough, because he's got a kind of a big head. He is a big head, and I don't mean that in a shady way, it is just fact. He got a big ass head, so I just kind of like put it against my head and I was like, oh, it does kind of like, I think obviously because I'm gonna be like seaming up the point, the middle point, I do think I'll need to make it a little bit longer. So I am gonna block it just lengthwise, just to give it a little bit of extra wiggle room. And when I kind of just like stretched it out into place, it did like reach, I think like it was like 3 centimeters more, and because it's acrylic, I think it will block really nicely. It will stretch out quite well and just like relax it up a little bit, but it looks really cool. So the plan is for him to be able to have the full balaclava with like the eye like cut out bit, but also be able to kind of roll up the brim on the bottom so that there's like a row or like a brim of the like pattern. So with the tapestry I am doing intarsia. I was tempted to carry my yarn because then I was like, oh, it will look the same on both sides, but where I'm dealing with the black, I don't really like carrying black because I feel like unless the color is like just as dark as black or just like a very dark shade, you can always see the black underneath or like carrying through, and I don't like that. And so I've done intarsia where you add bobbins and you can see like obviously there is a right side and a wrong side, and you can see like a tiny, other than the actual ends which I'll weave in, but a tiny little kind of like overlap of some of the yarn. So I've done my best to like crochet over those tiny little bits, just where I've like kind of pulled it across to obviously like crochet certain parts of it. So I've done my best to hide it, but I don't know how noticeable it's going to be. So it might be that I'm like, I tell him it's reversible, and if he wants to wear it as a beanie where the brim is rolled up, then he kind of like flips it out, so then this cleaner side will be on the outside when he rolls it up. If he wants to wear a balaclava, to flip it inside out, and then he can have this part on the outside as the balaclava. I think that makes sense. So yeah, it's going really well. I actually googled like what the hell these little spots are, because even my bestie's partner doesn't know. So he said that he referred to it as like cow print, but I think that's just like because he was like, that's what it looks like. I was like, is it Dalmatian, is it cow? Apparently it's like meant to replicate a spotted seal, which makes more sense, like it being a marine animal. I'm pleased with how the tapestry is turning out. It's turning out a lot better than I thought it would, because I've never done tapestry on like a ribbed stitch or like anything with the back loop only. I'm just doing half double crochet in the back loop only, so that's what I do for all of my beanies, which is just like a very generic pattern. But yeah, I've never done a tapestry with a ribbed stitch before, and I think it looks really good. I'm really impressed. I texted my bestie a picture of the graph before I started, and I was like, look what I'm crocheting, because she obviously knows that this has been in the works for a long time. So I've asked her to keep it like a little surprise, because I want to surprise him, but she was like really excited. She was like, it looks really good, like the graph looks really good, and she's also very excited to see. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. I think it's gonna like work out exactly how he wants it to. I don't really like get why he wanted like half of it to be all white and then the bottom bit to have like the little kind of like spotted seal pattern on it. But then when I was like looking at his hat is like completely different in terms of the construction. It's not a beanie, but he basically has like a normal hat, and then it's got this like kind of like what's the word, like a brim, which then has the little spotted seal pattern. So I was like, oh, it actually makes a little bit more sense. When he was kind of showing me what he wanted, it was on a balaclava, like his own balaclava. He was like, this is kind of where I want it, la la la. And I was just kind of like, I mean, design wise, I was kind of like, I don't really get it, you know. I was like, but you only want this bit on the bottom half. I was like, okay, that seems kind of crazy. But yeah, I think it's turned out quite good. And I'm like, oh, it makes sense. Like, I get it now. Now looking at his actual hat, I understand. But yes, I am currently going to split off for like the eye hole area. I've just kind of done some decreases there. I don't really know like what I'm doing. I just keep like looking at the photo and then figuring it out, basically. So I'm not like looking at a tutorial or a pattern or anything. I'm literally just studying this one photo that he sent me, and I'm fully winging it, and I'm having a lot of fun, you know. But yes, that is my update. So it's like 5 p.m. now. I'm probably going to work on this for like another hour or so. I reckon I'll have this done in like another evening, maybe. If I work on it, maybe tomorrow evening or Sunday evening, perhaps it will be done by then. I can't foresee this taking me super long unless I have fucked it up majorly, and obviously have to frog it and redo it. But I mean, other than the eye area, I can't foresee anything going wrong, if I'm being so real. But yeah, it's looking really fun. I'm loving it. I finished it. Well, I finished the crocheting part, as in like the beanie part. I need to seam it up. I need to do some finishing touches, weaving the ends, but the crocheting is done. I can't remember if I mentioned, but I had no clue how to like do a balaclava. I've never made a balaclava before, or one like this where it's got like the little kind of eye hole, and so I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do it. Wasn't really sure. Didn't look up a tutorial. Didn't want to look up a pattern, and I just winged it. And I think it's turned out pretty good. So the actual tapestry part of like the animal print at the bottom looks really, really cool. And then yeah, we've got the little eye hole thing. I am going to go around the eye hole with just like a couple of rows of single crochet, just because it looks a little bit like unstructured. I'm not really the biggest fan of just how kind of like unpolished, I guess, the eye hole looks. But I think yeah, just a couple rows of single crochet will just like really like, you know, add a little finishing touch on there. I think it's gonna be great. This is the vibe. Yeah, this is gonna be sick. So the only thing, and again, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I didn't make it like super long, and I wouldn't say he's got like a long head. I think he's got just like an average length head, you know, but he does have quite a big head. So I think I need to, because I'm planning on blocking it, I think I need to pin it so it stretches out a little bit longer, because I don't want it to be like, you know, like flapping around under his chin sort of thing when he wears it as a balaclava. So yeah, I think I need to kind of stretch it out a little bit longer lengthways, and then what was the other thing I was gonna say? Can't remember. That's it, I guess. If I remember what I was gonna say, I will mention it. But I do think I dropped a couple of stitches when I was finishing off, because when I when I did the eye slit part, because when I was like reconnecting it, my stitch count was not the same. So I think I need to just like stretch out this part a little bit, just so it like matches the same size as this side as the starting point. I have a bunch of ends to weave in. There's quite a lot going on, but that's okay. I'm really not that pressed about weaving in ends. I know it's like hell to some people. It's not my favorite thing to do, of course. I see it as part of the process, so it's not like a huge issue for me. I think I'm gonna block it as it is, like without joining it up, and then I will stretch it out lengthways, make sure this side matches this side, so when I seam it up it won't kind of look weird. Also as well, so I measured his head circumference, and I made it like 5 centimeters smaller, because where this is a half double crochet ribbed stitch, I guess, I know it's going to stretch out. So I did tell him this, that I would make it a little bit smaller so that hopefully it stands the test of time a little bit more. And so yeah, I have made it a little bit smaller, so it is going to be a little bit tight on him, but I have warned him of that, and I said it will stretch out over time. So that's my update. It's looking real good. I'm really pleased with it. It's actually turned out really cute. Like, I was not expecting it to turn out this cute, and I think like it's gonna actually be really cool. Oh, also, so another reason why I want to add a row of single crochet around here, I don't think it's very like centered, I don't know if you can hear me properly, but another reason why I want to add another row of single crochet is because I don't want him to like be pulling it down, and I think I may have made the eye gap not big, but like maybe a little bit wider than I needed to. I did measure this part and I did do it according to the measurements, but like here we are. So yeah, I think as a balaclava it's gonna look cool. It's gonna look really cool. I think I look good in a balaclava actually. Am I being delusional? Maybe I'll make my own, but I would never wear it like this. This is just too much over my breathing holes. I don't like that. I'm just gonna block it. I'll wait for it to dry and then I will seam up the sides, cinch in the top of the head, and then we're done. Oh, and weave in the ends. I'll probably weave in the ends before I cinch it up and connect the sides, just because I want to. And I think it'll be easier for me to weave in the ends whilst what am I trying to say? I think it'll be easier for me to weave in the ends whilst it's like flat, rather than as a tube or as a beanie, so, or balaclava or whatever. I think it's gonna look really cool, like even as this being the brim of a beanie. Like imagine that's the brim. Oh, it does kind of look like his hat. Oh, it does actually kind of look like his hat. The pictures that I've seen of him, this kind of looks like him. Anyway, my battery's dying. This is my update. I will keep you posted on the rest. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It's going good. I have finished it. I still have a few ends to weave in, just on like the last finishing touches that I did, but yeah, I finished it. Is it inside out? Yes, it is. So the only additional things that I did were weaving in all the ends of the actual like tapestry part, and it looks really clean on the inside, which is, let me just put my phone on silent. But yeah, it looks really clean on the inside, which is great, although like you can see that this is like the wrong side, which is fine. And then with the eye hole area, I just did a couple of rows of single crochet just to kind of like neaten it up a little bit and make it a little bit more structured, because where it was like the ends of the stitches, it just kind of looked a bit unfinished. So yeah, I did a couple of rows of single crochet and then I seamed it up. So I did originally, where even is the seam? Here. I did originally seam it up with a single crochet, but then I realized when he's going to be wearing it as a beanie, he'll be folding up the brim, and I was like, then you can see that line of the single crochet. And also I think I mentioned this, but if he does want to, as he wears it as a balaclava, it will be obviously this way, but if he wants to wear it as a beanie, I think I would suggest for him to kind of turn it inside out, and then when he rolls up the brim, then it will be the right side of the tapestry on the outside. So as well, that was another thing, because I was like, well, if he does wear it like that, you'll have the line of single crochet on the outside for like the whole hat. So I ended up just frogging it and then just whip stitched it, and now it's like seamless, like you really can't see it on the inside or on the outside, which is great. So no matter how he decides to wear it, you won't be able to see the seam or like the join seam, which is great. And then I just cinched in the top, created the little bum hole and just tightened it up. So I find with beanies where this is the method that you do, where you just like sew in between the stitches and then put it tight, there is always like a tiny gap. Like no matter how tight you've made it, no matter how kind of tight you end up pulling it, there is always a tiny gap. So I like to make sure that I've got quite a lot of yarn and then just like sew over the little hole. I do like turn it inside out and then sew over the little hole. So I've got a couple ends to weave in here and there. I just did a little try on just to make sure it like works, you know, like it's not super long, or it's not like, you know, making sure the fit's okay. It's great, it looks so good. I'll do a proper try on once I've woven in the final ends, but yeah, it looks really good. It fits me where it covers my chin, and I'm trying to think about, like, it's so silly, I'm trying to think about how like long his head is, and I don't think his head is particularly long, so I'm kind of like, it fits me like to my chin comfortably without like, because I'm worried about the eye kind of hole where if he needs to kind of pull it down where it goes over his chin. I'm worried about the eye hole then like exposing his nose or like pulling over his nose. I think it should be okay. Like I think it will be fine. I think it will stretch out like the more he wears and stuff. As much as I do think he'll wear it as a balaclava, I do think he'll most likely wear it more as a beanie. So yeah, that's kind of how the sizing was with the balaclava, and then I did roll up the brim and just to kind of see how it sat and how it looked. I'm not really like a beanie person or a balaclava person, so like I didn't look right in it, but like it looks right. Do you know what I mean? With the beanie, his head is big. Like his head is probably a good 5 to 7 centimeters bigger than mine. So having it on as the balaclava and as the beanie, I was like, this feels loose. But I double checked the circumference of this balaclava probably about 5 times and it's fine. And I think when I blocked it, it did stretch out the tiniest bit. So I think originally when I was doing the actual rows, I made it, I think 5 centimeters smaller than his measurement, because I was like, oh, we'll stretch a little bit over time. And then I think with the blocking, it did stretch out by a couple of centimeters, which was a kind of annoying, but like not the end of the world, because then again, he's still got a little bit of stretch room. So now it's like, I think it's like 1.5, nearly 2 centimeters away from his head circumference, which is good. And I took like a kind of tight head circumference when I was measuring his head. It was really weird to like be talking about the size of his head so much. So yeah, so hopefully just because it's like loose on me, it will be fine on him. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I was like really unsure how it was gonna come together. I was unsure about the eye hole bit. I was unsure about like the rolled brim and like the tapestry being on that part. I was just unsure about all of it. I've never done a balaclava like this. I've never done a colour work balaclava. Like I said, I've got a couple more ends to weave in. I'm going to weave those in and then I'll do a nice little grand reveal. I don't know, I'm trying to think, when do I see him? I think I see him like in a couple of weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks. So I'm going to like wrap it nicely in some like tissue paper and stuff. So I won't be showing you like his reaction or the beanie on him, because he doesn't really want to be on social media, and like I'm a normal person and I respect his wishes. So I will hopefully be able to film me giving it to him, but he won't be in the video. I'm not as worried now. I think before I was a bit worried about how it was going to come together, but also worried about the fit and like the eye hole part being too big and blah blah blah. But now it's like all come together. I'm like, oh, this is actually fine, and it was actually kind of simple. The only additional thing that I'm thinking of doing is maybe doing like a row of single crochet along the bottom in black, or even in the cream, because I think it will just like finish it off nicely. But I don't know if that's like, if I'm just doing a bit too much. I don't know if I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my bestie, because I've been like, I told her where I'd started it and I was like, obviously like don't tell him because it's a surprise. She's kept it secret, which is she's finding quite difficult. So I might ask her for her opinion, just to kind of like, because it doesn't look bad like the edges or anything, but I do think it will just add like a nice little finishing touch. Yeah, I'll give her a text. I'll see what she says. I think it could look cute with just like a little black border, maybe like just a couple of rows, and then when he does roll it up, then it will have like that border in the end. But then that might ruin the look for him. He might want it to be like a bit more biblically accurate, you know? I don't actually know. So yeah, I think I'll consult Bestie on this one and see what she says. But I could also just finish it with a row of the cream, or like a couple of rows of the cream, so it doesn't have that contrast with the black. I'll see what she says, see what her suggestion is, because like it looks good, but I would love for it to just kind of be a bit more polished. And I think adding that row of single crochet around the eye hole area just gives that like polished finish, which I really love in the finishing touches of a project. But this has been a really great project. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's been quite fun doing something that like is a small project, which I don't usually do, a project for somebody else, which I don't usually do, and also something that I've never done before, which I do sometimes do most of the time. But yeah, so it feels kind of weird like finishing something and then being like, oh, I'm not gonna see this unless I see him, sort of thing. But yeah, it's nice. It feels quite nice to do these kind of like small bite-sized projects for my friends and like people I love. So yeah, maybe I'll be doing some more projects for other people, because I have said for my partner actually that I would he's asked for a sweater, but like we just haven't really talked about like exactly what he wants, because he's a bit more selective about like stitch patterns and texture and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe I will look into that this year, because as much as I love crocheting stuff for myself, and I think mostly I want to crochet things for myself. I do also enjoy crocheting things for people that I love, especially when and I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like this, but especially when they've asked for it. My kind of like issue with crocheting things for other people is that if I just crochet them something, I always feel A, that like they don't actually want the thing that I'm making them, and B, I can't get like the fit right necessarily or whatever because I'm doing it as like a surprise, or like, you know, I'm not they don't know it's coming because they've not asked for it, if that makes sense. Whereas like with this, he told me exactly what he wanted. I took his exact measurements, you know, like we discussed the colors and stuff. So yeah, I think like I feel a lot better crocheting things for other people when I know it's something that they want, but I've also consulted them on every part of it, sort of thing. But then also it's like, it's still a surprise because he doesn't know that I've made this yet. I think this is better for me because I'm like, I know he's gonna love it. The only danger is like, oh, is it gonna fit him? But I took his measurement, so I'm like, it should be fine, you know, like it's just that 1 little % of, oh god, is it gonna fit? But like I actually think it'll be okay. Yeah, maybe I will actually explore doing some projects for other people, especially when it has been requested, because that makes my life a lot easier. I think like one of the areas that I really struggle with is being like, is it gonna fit? Are they gonna like it? Will they actually use it, wear it, whatever? And like crochet takes a long time, man. Like the whole thing takes a long time. Weaving in ends, the designing, the actual making, all of it takes a long time. And it's like, I don't want to be doing projects for friends and family members when like they're not going to use it or utilize it. I'm typically quite good at being able to make things for people that I know that they're going to enjoy, but I think particularly for my family, like majority of the time it's larger things, which when I'm doing it around Christmas or I'm doing it as a present or a surprise, whatever, is a bit harder. So yeah, I think like maybe I'll just ask my friends and family, but like if you do have requests, let me know. But then when I see you, we can do measurements, I can take preferences, colors and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I think that'll be quite nice to like delve into a little bit, do some other some pieces for other people. I think that'll be quite cute. Anyway, that's my update. I will do a proper grand reveal once all the ends are woven in and I decide if I want to do a bottom border. It is officially done. I am really pleased with how this has turned out. I think he's gonna really love it. Obviously this does not fit my head, like this is too big for me in the face when the balaclava was down, and also it's too big for my head, so I am gonna remove it as well, just because I'm really not a hat person. Like I very rarely wear beanies and I am very much a kind of practical person over fashion person when it comes to like beanies and hats. Like I will only really wear them if it's cold or if I'm wearing like a baseball cap if it's really hot. So I don't think I really suit a beanie. I think I've got like 1 or 2 that I wear when it's very cold, and that's about it. And also the fact that that beanie is too big for me, so it makes it look even weirder on me. But I did want to just show you what it looked like on with not only the balaclava but also like with the brim rolled up. And whilst it doesn't fit my head, I do still think it looks really good. I am so pleased with how it's come together. It was really fun to do like a character based piece, especially that I didn't know the character or still don't know the character, but I will know the character soon. I think I'm maybe about 10 volumes away from when Trafalgar Law is introduced, so like I will know him soon, but at the moment I do not know this man. So sorry to Mr. Law, sorry to Mr. Trafalgar. I will soon come to know who you are, and I'm sure you're great. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, the beanie went, or balaclava, beanie, whatever you want to call it, went really well. I am super pleased with how it's turned out, and I'm really looking forward to giving it to my bestie's partner. I think he's gonna love it. I've been showing my bestie like pictures along the way, and she's been like really excited about it because she knows he's gonna really enjoy it. I did also ask her about like the bottom finishing border, I guess, and I was like, should I add something and she was like, well, he would probably want it to be more like biblically accurate to the character, and he doesn't have, there's no like kind of black rim on the bottom of his hat. And also I was kind of looking at like my partner's beanies, and none of them have like a finishing border on the bottom, presumably so they're not like kind of tight at the bottom. So I figured I would just leave it as is, just as well, just to make sure it's not like super tight and restricting, and so it looks more accurate to the character. So yeah, I left it as is. That was the only kind of amendment from like the last update I gave, and then I just wove in those final ends from like seaming in the top, and I think like joining the whole thing. But yeah, it's gone absolutely swimmingly. Like I mentioned, I won't be getting any footage or pictures of my friend in the actual balaclava because he doesn't want to be put on the internet, and that is absolutely fine. I am going to try and film me giving it to him, so hopefully I'll be able to kind of like get his reaction on camera. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I might have to like distort our voices, just an FYI. I want his reaction on film so I have it, but then I also want to kind of share it as well because I think that would be really fun. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do. Whether or not I will actually be able to do it is a different question. Just letting you know, there won't be any pictures of the recipient with the beanie on, but if you see anybody walking around in England, very vague, I'm not going to give you his location obviously, but if you see anyone in England walking around with a beanie on that looks like this, just know that that is him. And this is the beanie that I've made. It's been a really fun process. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I am hoping to get some footage of me giving it to my friend. I am seeing him next weekend. Today's Monday. I'm not seeing him this weekend, it's next weekend. So hopefully I will be able to get some footage of me giving it to him. If not, then thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, leave me a comment and let me know what you think of the final gift. And yeah, I will hopefully catch you on the next one.
Okay, so I have a present for you. Here you go. Thank you. Oh, that's a secret. It's a safety gift. Oh my gosh. My gosh. This is even better than I envisioned it. I really? Oh my. Why? Oh my. What do you mean? I don't know what it says. I don't know what food. Oh, it looks more good. It looks really good. Oh, yeah. Does it fit? Oh my god. And can you, is it long enough? It could be long enough. Okay, it will stretch out. It could be. Yeah, it will stretch out. For sure. But does it feel, is it tight or is it okay? No, it's loose. Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Okay, this is sick. Because also I don't admit, because obviously I'm trying it on and I'm like, this is so fucking loose. And I'm measuring it and I'm like, it is the circumference of that I took though, with the measurements I took. I'm like, it's right, but it doesn't feel so ginormous on my head. Oh, wow. Oh, does it? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, oh, yeah. I was so worried that it was going to be too, like, short, like when you roll it up sort of thing. Oh, yeah, it looks so fun. Oh, it looks so fun. Okay, so wait, so come here. I need to explain, like, the ins and outs of it for you. So, obviously, this is the balaclava, right? So there is a wrong side and a right side to this. So you'll be able to tell because on the wrong side, which I'm just now checking is this side. So on the wrong side, you'll kind of see that there's like a few little bits where you can see the thread. Oh, yeah. So that means it's the wrong side. So what I'm thinking is that when you wear it like a balaclava, do it like that. But when you're wearing it as a beanie, turn it inside out so that when you roll this bit, the right side is on the outside. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, obviously the choice is yours. You can do it however you want, but technically there is a side that's like a bit not as polished, you know. So yeah, it's all polished. I don't know. All right. Oh my god, this is so good. Thank you so much. That's so good. I'm so glad you like. Oh my, now I'm real life norm. Yeah, what shasty, amazing. Yeah, so I had to Google who this man is because I was like, who are you? And I was like, what is it? It's a spotted seal print. Because you know, we were like, what is this print? Is it Dalmatian? Is it cow? It's a spotted seal. I had to do some research because I was like, I don't know this man. I need to know more about him. But without getting any spoilers for One Piece. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Oh my god, the hot Clarence the left. That's crazy. It's a lot of the law for life. And you know what's funny is that, you know, because you remember when you were telling me about the design that you wanted, and I was like, okay, this sounds kind of crazy, but whatever. Like, I'll do whatever you want. And then as I'm looking at him and I'm googling it, as I'm making it and I put it together, I literally like had it like that with the brim and turned it into a hat so I could see what it looked like. And I was like, oh fuck, it's his hat. And I was like, I get it now. I was like, I understand. Because I didn't, I understood what you wanted in the literal sense. I was like, I don't really get this design choice. And then I was like, oh my god, I fucking get it. Yay! I was so worried that it wasn't long enough. I was so worried it wasn't wide enough. I was like, damn, son, you got a big ass head. So at the moment, you have the right side. The right side, oh yeah. Cool. I found a bit in structure there. Well done. Yeah, well done. One of these. Oh, yay!